So good morning. Welcome to the first of our early morning sessions that will be running at 7:30 on a Thursday morning, every morning throughout June. And who knows, after June, we might be back to our normal routine. Who can tell? Anyway, for now, sit up as tall as you can and try and calm your mind. So wherever your thoughts are, see if you can corral them together and bring them back into focus. Use your breath to help you do this. Bring your mental focus to your third eye. That's your Anja chakra, your brow chakra. It's situated between your eyebrows, just slightly above. And it's the seat of your intuition, your wisdom, your inner wisdom. So this is where we often focus when we're meditating, trying to get in touch with our true self. Now bring your focus to your breath while maintaining your inner eye gaze on your third eye. Watch your breath. Watch it create a ripple up and down your spine. Feel that energy and that sense of calm. So if this morning was a little bit of a rush for you, then just come back into a state of alert calm. So we're not asleep, but we're not going crazy either. Take a couple more nice deep breaths here. Now sit up tall, roll your shoulders back and down, flutter open the eyes. So we're going to start with Shashankasana, hare pose, or moon in the lap pose. I'll show you from the side so you can get get an idea of what it looks like. So we're sitting up as tall as we can on our heels, Vajrasana or Thunderbolt pose. If you find this pose uncomfortable, you can take a block between your thighs and your calf or a cushion that will just take the weight off your heels and your ankles if that's not comfortable. Lengthen your spine. Inhale, float your arms up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, hinge from the hip and start to bring the hands down to the mat. Trying to keep your spine in a straight line. When your fingertips touch the mat, wrap your shoulders back and down and draw your chest a little bit further forward. And breathe here. So far, it's very similar to an extended child's pose. Now what we're going to do is inhale, draw the weight forward so the hips come over the knees and bring the crown of the head down towards the floor. So this is where you might want to have a sneaky glance at me. It's the crown of my head that's coming to the floor. So I'm bringing my chin in towards my thighs if I can. Altering my hand position to enable me to do that, and maybe tucking my toes under and bringing my hands to my heels. So I find I can bring my crown a little bit closer here so I get a better alignment. Obviously, it's not possible to see what this looks like, but you're trying to rest on the crown of your head, keeping the weight in your knees, keeping your hips over your knees and keeping your feet on the floor. That's important. We're not doing headstand here. We're just doing an inversion. So this has the benefit of sending the blood to your brain, but we're not putting pressure on the top of the skull. If it's uncomfortable for your head, then put a folded blanket or roll your mat over. We're just going to stay here for a couple of breaths. And then after your next breath, or when you've had enough, untuck the toes, roll back onto your heels, and rest in child's pose. One more breath here. Inhale, gently raise yourself back up onto that kneeling position again, and we're going to walk the hands forward and come into all fours. We'll do a couple of cat-cow curls. Those of you who've been with me regularly over the last few weeks will know all about these. We exhale, we round the spine, press through the outer fingers, draw your belly button in and look towards your thighs. Inhale, draw the chest forward and the shoulders back and down, lift the chin and eye gaze and allow the belly to drop. 2 more of those. Exhaling as you round. Inhaling as you extend. Match the movements with your breath. Exhaling and inhaling. Do 1 more. Really slowing your breath to match your movement. And then next time you exhale, sit back into child's pose. Inhale, come forward again. Now you're going to turn your left toes out and slide your right foot back. So we're coming into modified gate pose. So the hip is more or less over the knee here. We're going to open the arm and open the chest, drawing the shoulder blades together at the back. So far, this is modified gate. If you want to take it a little bit further, then you can try not taking the knee quite so wide and floating the back leg up. If you're able to get into this position, open the chest further, flex the back foot and look up at your hand. So it's a bit of a balance challenge this morning. It's really going to wake up your core muscles, focus your mind. So this is our preparation for floating half moon. Hold it here or in the lower position. Inhale, float the arm down, release the foot, slide the back leg in, and come back into child's pose. We're going to do that on the other side. Inhaling to come forward, turn the right foot out, slide the left foot away, and open up the side of the body. So far in modified gate pose, you can take it further and stretch that back leg up into a balance if you want to. Drawing the shoulder blades together at the back of the body. Looking up, you're feeling confident. Stay there a little longer if you want to come out of it. Float the hand down, slide the back leg in, release that foot, and sit back into child's pose. Inhale, come forward onto all fours, tuck the toes, lift your way up into downward facing dog. Press your heels towards the back of your mat. Lift your hips high and press your chest towards your thighs. As you exhale, you're going to draw your hips back and up, and that should take some of the weight out of your wrists. Try not to dump in your wrists, press into your fingertips and the mounds of your first finger and thumb. And then soften your knees and walk the feet to the front of your mat in forward fold. Exhale here. When you inhale, bend the knees deeply, take the arms out to the sides and come up, bringing your palms together and then drawing your hands to your heart center into Tadasana or mountain pose. So I can't see much sun this morning, but as it is the morning, we're going to do a sun salutation. Some of you will be very familiar with this. I'll take the first one quite slowly to talk you through it. If you know what you're doing and you want to rattle on, then do so. But be mindful and look after yourself. Normally, when we do this in class, I can give you alignment tips. If you're with any teacher, they can point out where your alignment could be tweaked to help you get more out of the pose and stay safe. So be your own teacher in this and be mindful in your practice. We inhale, we take the arms up and over. We bring the palms together. You can look up if you like, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, take a deep dive, draw the chest down towards the thighs. Rest the hands on the floor, or you can have blocks here. Exhale. Inhale, bend both knees deeply. Draw your right leg back to the back of your mat. We come into a lunge. Make sure that you energize in that back leg. push through that back heel so you're not dumping on your front knee or hip. Now we press both hands into the floor and we draw that foot back into plank. Drop your knees straight away if you need to, or wrap the shoulders back and down. Spin your inner elbows forward and bring your weight slightly forward here. Now we all drop to the knees, untuck the toes. Bring the chest and chin down to the floor, keeping your bottom high if you can. Slide your chest forward, wrap your shoulders back and down. Look forward and down. Tuck the toes, and we're coming back into downward facing dog. So come up, lift up, chest to thighs. And from here, inhale, take your right leg up high and draw it forward into a lunge. Wrap your shoulders back and down, make your fingertips light. Now we're going to draw that back leg in, come into forward fold. Inhale, take the arms out to the sides, palms face the ceiling. They come together above your head, and we exhale, hands to your heart center. So that's one round on the right. I'm now going to show you, I'm going to change direction just so that you can see me more easily if you need to. We're going on the left. Inhale, up and over. Stretch the body. Exhale, fold the body. Use blocks if you need to. Inhale, bend both knees deeply so you can lunge to the back of your mat with your left foot. Length and strength here. Press into both hands and come into plank, dropping to the knees immediately if you need to. Otherwise, hold the breath, hold the move. And then exhale, untuck the toes. Draw the chest and chin down, Ashtangasana, fold through. Wrap the shoulders, lift and lengthen. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, float the left foot up. Exhale, draw it all the way forward. We're in lunge. Inhale here for length. Exhale, come into forward fold. Inhale, up and over, and exhale. Okay, well done. So we're going to do all that again. Hopefully that's helped to get you a little bit of peace. That wasn't meant to happen. And now we're going to add on some extra moves. So I'll talk you through those as well. Those of you who are familiar with sun salutation, if you want to substitute your chaturanga, then do so, but take care. Okay, here we go. Rearrange clothing. Inhale, up and over, and bring the palms together. Exhale, come into a deep forward fold. Be mindful of every moment. Inhale, bend deeply, take your right foot back into a long lunge. Wrap your shoulders back and down, power through your back foot. Now as we exhale, we're going to bring the back foot down to the mat, bring the heel down, turn the toes out, and come up and over into warrior two. Inhale and exhale to find some depth here. So in warrior two, you want to open your hips towards the long side of your mat and immediately watch my front knee is trying to turn in. So we want to keep that knee really pressing back, that thigh pressing back, and this hip opening. So that's the challenge, because those two things don't want to go. They are fighting each other. So you want to try and persuade that hip to stay back and that knee to stay back. And that's really going to open your hips. Then if you can come more deeply into the pose, come deeply into the pose. Stay low here. Inhale, flip your front palm, take it up and over. So you stretch out the left side of the body. Look down towards your back foot, or you can look up towards your elbow or your palm. Now we're going to draw this elbow down so it rests lightly on the front thigh, and take the back arm up and over. Straight line between your fingertips and the blade of your back foot, and wrap those shoulders. If you've got long arms and you want to reach that arm down towards the floor, then do so, or you can have a block here. Now from here, inhale, straighten the front leg and come into Trikonasana, triangle pose. So your arm might be quite high here, it might be on your shin or on your thigh, Or you might be able to stretch both arms away from you, and one set of fingertips may reach the floor. Looking up to the ceiling or straight ahead, but try not to let the head hang. Take control. From here, inhale. Draw the back leg in, reach for your block if you need it, and we're going to come into floating half moon. So if you can keep the front leg bent, you can keep the back toes on the floor, you can bring the front hand to a block, or you can float into Ardha Chandrasana. Active through the back heel, open the chest. Watch your head on the piano. Lengthen. Strong here and focus. When you're ready to come out of this, float back as elegantly as you can and reprise that warrior two. And here you want your shoulders over your hips, if at all possible. You might find you can go a bit deeper now. Now we inhale. The back arm comes up and over. The back heel lifts. We rotate towards the front leg. We're back in lunge. And now you continue with your vinyasa sequence. Press your hands into the mat. Front leg comes back into plank. Straight into chaturanga only if it's in your practice. Otherwise, knees, chest, chin, Ashtangasana. Draw the chest down. Hips stay high. Inhale. Bhujangasana, cobra. Wrap your shoulders back and down. Come a little higher if you can without crimping in the lower back. Exhale, tuck the toes, down face dog. I'm going to stay for a couple of breaths in down face dog. If you need to drop down into child's pose here, take a rest. Otherwise, use the opportunity to perfect your down face dog. Inhaling as you press the chest to the thighs, exhaling as you lift high to the ceiling with the hips. Feel that stretch across the shoulders. And from here, if you're lunging, it's the right leg first, or you can walk your feet to the front of your mat, or you can take a little hop if it's in your practice. I'm going to lunge with my right leg. And then I'm going to bring my left leg in to join it. Forward fold, Uttanasana, intense forward stretch. Inhaling as we open up and exhaling as we press the palms together. So now we'll go on the left. Inhaling up and over, pressing the palms together. Exhaling, coming into a deep forward fold. Inhale. Bend the knees, take the left leg back, wrap your shoulders back and down. Find energy in this lunge. So you want to really watch that you're not hanging out here. You can take the back leg to the floor, but keep energy in it if you do. Now we're going to bring the left heel to the floor, turn that foot out so it's parallel to the back of your mat, but your front foot is still parallel to the side of your mat. Arrange your hips and knee as before, and sink low into your warrior two. Your drishti, your eye gaze, should be down your front fingers. You're a warrior, but you're not fighting anyone on the outside. You're just doing battle with your own ego. Inhale, flip the front palm, lift it up to the ceiling. Stay low in the hips, if you can. Now gently float that front arm down towards the thigh. Take the back arm up and over. Stretch the fingertips away. Open the chest. Lengthen fingertips to back foot. And maybe drop your fingertips towards the floor. Utthita Parsvakonasana, extended side angle pose. Breathe deeply here. From here, straighten the front leg if you can. My hip popping, apologize for that. Keep sending the hips back towards the back of your mat. Lift and lengthen here. Wherever you're comfortable to go. You can use a block here too. Bend the front knee, slide that back leg in. It might take a couple of hops. Might be a bit stiff in the hips this morning. And when you're ready to take off, have your block underneath your hands if you need it. Flex that back foot as you straighten that leg and lift into Ardha Chandrasana, floating half moon. If you wobble, doesn't matter. Try and focus your mind. Lengthen your tail away from your crown. Open your chest, draw your shoulder blades together. Inhale and exhale to float out of it. Take a couple of breaths to readjust to find your warrior two again. Drawing the shoulders back and down, gazing down your front fingers. Calm and strength. Virabhadrasana. Virabhadra was a warrior created from Shiva's hair. He threw his matted hair down in a temper and created a warrior to slay his father-in-law. So it's a strong pose. Inhale, take the back arm up and over. Frame your front foot, lift your back heel, rotate your hips down again, and then pressing into the mat, come into your plank. Wrap the shoulders back and down in your plank. Find length and strength. Chaturanga or Ashtangasana. Knees, chest, chin, come to the floor, 8-point pose. Inhale, cobra, wrap back and down. Exhale to down face dog. And we're staying here for a couple more breaths. Inhale, listen up. We're going to soften the knees. We're going to bring the right leg all the way forward, staying in our lunge this time. I'm going to drop the back knee. We're coming into Uttam Pristhasana or lizard pose. So lengthen your lunge. And then take your right hand inside your right foot and lean your chest forward. Wrap your shoulders back and down. So this is lizard. It's a powerful hip opener. You've got several options here. You can take the front foot out and forward a little to give you more space here. You can take a block, place it under your forearms and bring your forearms down. You can decide you'd rather have the back leg lifted, or you can leave it on the floor. Or if you don't need the block, you can bring your forearms to the floor. But watch you're not rolling over to the side. Make sure that your inner forearm is as low as your other one, that you're not leaning to the side. Breathe deeply here. Inhale, press up into your hands again. If you've come down onto your forearms, readjust your front foot, press into your left hand and open the right into a lunge twist. Inhale, float that hand down outside of your front foot this time. Energy through the back leg, press through both hands, come back into plank and press up into downward dog. Take a break here in child's pose if you need it. Otherwise, keep working your downward dog, bringing your chest closer towards your thighs, your bottom higher towards the ceiling. Inhale, bend the front knee, draw it all the way forward into lunge. Left hand comes inside left foot. Press both hands into the floor. Drop the knee and tuck the toes. Work that foot forward and out if you need to give you more space. Bring in your block. Lift up your back leg. Drop to your forearms if that's appropriate for you. Wrap the shoulders back and down. Spine is long here. Really powerful stretch to the hips. And good preparatory pose for Hanumanasana, which we're not going to be doing today, but we might next week or the week after. So keep drawing the shoulders back and down, lengthening through the spine. One last stretch here. And then release your left hand to the outside of your left foot. Adjust that foot. Drop the knee or lift the knee as you like for your lunge twist. Float your hand back down to the floor. Release your front leg. Come to a kneeling position and sit back in child's pose. Take some deep breaths here. Inhale, come onto all fours. Cross your feet at the ankles. Roll over your ankles. and stretch your legs out in front. So we're coming into Paschimottanasana, so you need plenty of room. We're going to come to the floor in a minute too. So plenty of room on the mat behind you. Sit up as tall as you can in your staff pose. Inhale, take the arms up and over. Exhale to fold forward. Drawing the belly ever closer to the thighs, but lengthening the spine so the crown is still drawing forward towards your feet. Breathe deeply here. And from here, energize through the legs. Start to draw back, keeping the spine curled, and see if you can come down towards the floor. I've got one final pose for you, and you've got a choice here. So listen to your body, decide how you're feeling, and decide which option is best for you. So if you've got a wall nearby, your first option is to put your legs up the wall. If you haven't got a wall, if you feel that that's not going to help you, or you don't like that pose particularly, you can just stretch your legs up towards the ceiling and enjoy that lovely reversal of blood flow. Third option, if you'd like it, and this is not for anyone who's got any neck or shoulder issues. Your third option, if you'd like it, I'm just going to adjust myself here so I know I've got room, is to press your hands into the mat and lift your feet overhead into Halasana or plow pose. If your feet come to the floor, that's fine. If they don't, you've got a block in reach, then put a block under your feet. I reach mine. Don't turn your head in this position. So if you need to look at me, come out of it and have a look, but you don't want to compromise your neck. Stay here for 3 to 5 breaths if you can. And when you're ready to come out of it, slowly see if you can draw your spine down to the floor, one vertebra at a time, with control. When the base of your spine reaches the floor, hug your knees into your chest. So now, whichever position you've been in, if you've got your feet up the wall and you're comfortable there, then stay there. Otherwise, draw your feet down towards the ground and one by one send them away. Allow the feet to flop out to the sides. Allow the hips to open to the sides. Release your forearms to the mat so your palms face the ceiling. Close your eyes and come into Shavasana. We've just got a few minutes here. Treasure this time. So according to Patanjali, there are 8 limbs to yoga. Ashtanga in Sanskrit. The yamas and niyamas, the precepts by which we live. The asanas, the postures, the breath. And then we come into pratyahara, which is withdrawal from the world. Then meditation with an object, without an object, and then samadhi. So these are steps to inner peace. We've done a little bit of breath work, and we've worked on our postures. Now really work on being of calm mind. Bring your focus back to your Anja chakra. Find the wisdom within you. Be in touch with your inner teacher. I'm going to leave you here in Shavasana. If and when you're ready to come out of it, hug your knees into your chest and roll over to one side. If you're able to stay here for a few more minutes, enjoy that peace. Enjoy that calm. Enjoy the fruits of your labors. And I hope you'll be able to join me next week, Tuesday lunchtime, Thursday morning. And I hope the elements of today's practice and all the work we've done over the last few weeks will stay with you and be useful to you. Namaste.